651, the national unemployment rate sits at 7.9%. 7 months into the pandemic, TMJ4 is still hearing from people in Wisconsin waiting for unemployment benefits.
Kristen Byrne with our I-team took a couple of cases on, and soon after contacting the state, those employees were paid.
When I first interviewed one worker, he told me he was eating beans and rice for meals. Another told me she was eating toast and jam and only had $18 in her bank account. And every day, they both hoped that their unemployment money would arrive.
They sign you a new one.
About 6 months after getting sick, Karen Howland still isn't 100%. At the start of April, she had all of the COVID symptoms. Being a hospice nurse, there was no way she was going to return to work.
I was still fatigued. I even had the fever, the GI symptoms, shortness of breath.
She applied for benefits with the state, but only received one check.
I barely have money to survive on. And now I've lost our home. And it didn't have to happen. It did not have to happen.
I stayed on the phone from 8:30 in the morning until 3:06 p.m. in the afternoon.
Mike Ortiz knows that kind of frustration.
Why does it have to be dragged out so far?
The tool and die maker lost his job in late April. He applied for unemployment and, like Howland, only received one paycheck.
I've been calling. Nobody's reached out to me.
The I-team looked into both cases, emailing the state's Department of Workforce Development. In Karen Howland's case, a spokesperson said she was denied regular unemployment insurance, but was eligible for benefits for independent contractors. Ortiz's case was the opposite. He isn't receiving PUA because he's eligible for regular unemployment insurance. The state explained to us that both cases needed further investigation, so everything was on hold. Both Karen and Mike have been waiting months for answers. And just days after the I-team emailed the state asking for a review of their cases, they both were paid. Karen Howland received about $17,000 for the employers she worked for. Mike Ortiz, about $4,000. We asked the DWD for a virtual interview, but was told they won't be able to do one. Both Karen and Mike were paid within about a week's time after Governor Tony Evers asked the DWD Secretary Caleb Frostman to resign. So we asked for an interview with the current person in charge, Deputy Secretary Amy Pachesik. But when we asked that, we were told in an email that her focus is identifying changes so the state can process claims faster. If you have been waiting months for your unemployment benefits, email me right now at kristen.byrne@tmj4.com. I'm consumer investigator Kristen Byrne.